discombobulated at the moment because usually he's my Friday friend, 7 to 9 on Friday night on the Political Asylum. I highly recommend it because I will be doing that tomorrow. Pete Barnes usually accompanies me into that journey into the weekend, but he's with me now.
Yes.
I don't know where I am.
This is going to throw me for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
it really is.
It really is. Pete Barnes, political strategist, with me to go through some of the big stories of the day. Let's kick off. Well, let's play a clip first. Last night, I find it extraordinary, folks. Let me know what you think. But I find it extraordinary that there are the families and the loved ones and the friends of 15 Jews murdered last weekend, gunned down, rifled down to death by 2 Muslim maniacs. They are mourning their dead. This is an atrocity. And how do people in this country react? They stage anti-Israel marches, pro-Palestine marches. What is wrong with these people? Now, the police now are saying they've had enough, because I've always said, Pete, I've always said that I don't believe in banning marches. I don't believe in banning public demonstrations. I don't agree with those pro-Palestine fanatics, but I do believe in the right to protest, the right to demonstrate. So I'm not one of the banning mob. Let them do it, I say. But I've always said that the police must police them properly. And if racist laws are broken, chanting, globalise the intifada. I don't know how that chant goes, by the way. It doesn't say, it's not very snappy, is it? Globalise the intifada. I mean, I don't know what the tune is, but it's the worst lyrics I've ever seen. But of course it means kill every Jew in the world. So the police have said, if we hear that from any of you lot, you anti-Israel, pro-Palestine marchers, we will arrest you. In other words, they've stood by for 2 years, more than 2 years, watching these marches snake through our cities and towns every weekend and also in the week as well. And the cops have just watched while people shout, from the river to the sea, when will Palestine be free? That means annihilate Israel. They do jihad. They have jihad signs. It's blatant anti-Semitism. It's blatant illegal racism. The police so far have basically turned a blind eye to it. They've admitted that crimes have been committed, but in the interests of keeping the peace, they have not arrested anyone. Finally, they're saying they're going to arrest people who chant globalise the intifada, which means let's kill every Jew on the face of the planet. Anyway, let's have a look at a clip, because among these nutters, these maniacs, these anti-Semites, is the MP Zara Sultana, one half of the leadership of the excellent Your Party, run by Magic Grandpa Jeremy Corbyn and Miss Sultana. She's in the middle of this. And they are indeed chanting globalise the intifada. Let's have a look at this.
A blood pressure of 127, they're not allowing medical professionals, to be able to see a woman who's lost 15% of her
No one's threatening anyone.
That's a great start, isn't it? That's not the mob marching through London last night. We'll get that to you in a little while. Now, Pete, where do you stand on this? They did, to be fair, last night some pro-Palestine, I think it was 5, were arrested by the police after calling for the intifada.
Yeah.
But, it shouldn't just be globalise the intifada. My point is, or my question is, I'm glad the police are saying this, but do we trust them to go through with it?
No, not at all, because you've got a commissioner of Met Police here who said that the Nazi flag needed context. That's literally what he said, and I'm sorry that this is far too little, far too late, and this is the reason we have the rise in anti-Semitism is because we allowed it to happen. We kind of academicked the horrific side of it away. We kind of said, well, they don't really mean it. Oh, it could be interpreted this way. No, it's not. And you don't protect the right to protest by allowing bad actors within those protests to commit crime and spread hate. That's what the police have allowed to happen because of cowardice more than anything, because they don't want to offend anybody, and they don't. It's very clear that the police police have a particular side to this argument, and I don't like the idea of that at all.
I think the police just look every single weekend, every time you see one of these marches, they look like they're pro-Palestine supporters. You know, they're always warning Jews to go nowhere near these marches. Get away! You know, you're openly Jewish, as Gideon Falter from the campaign against anti-Semitism.
The interesting thing on that,
you're openly Jewish.
The interesting thing on
as
that,
if it's a crime.
It was actually the police admitting that they couldn't keep a Jewish man safe in London. That's exactly what they're admitting.
It's exactly what they did in Aston Villa in Birmingham. Oh, we can't have Jewish fans here. We can't guarantee their safety. If they were Palestine fans, you know, Palestine United, if there is such a team, I guarantee you the police would guarantee their safety. There's something anti-Jew about all of this. I hope the police are now raising their game. But anyway, second time lucky, I think we do have Zara Sultana among the chanting mob in London last night. Take it away, Zara. Intifada, intisar. There she is. Not much of a demo, is it? So there's Zara. I suppose technically you can't quite see her actually saying it, so she'll probably get away with that. But I wouldn't mind her having her collar felt.
No, because I would remind you, there's 50 members of the British Parliament that are begging David Lammy to meet with the families of these people on hunger strikes. Let's not forget that this is a prescribed terrorist organisation, Palestine Action. They're actively supporting it, and now members of our Parliament are saying that, you know, we should go easy on them. I'm sorry, the two-sidedness of the kind of two-tier society is evidently clear. That one side gets the hammer thrown at them and the book thrown at them, with it's, with the likes of Lucy Connolly, and the other side get protests and academic excuses. It's just pathetic, but yet it's Starmer's Britain, so what do you expect?
Exactly right. Let me know what you think about that, folks. Is it time for the police to crack down, to actually start arresting people? I mean, they could kick off that little film we just saw. They could kick off by getting the woman with the microphone, who was actually saying globalise the Intifada. She's easy to find. Find her, arrest her. Has she been arrested? If not, what are you talking about, cops? Are you going to crack down or not? Now let's move on for the time being, but let me know what you think about that. 0344 499 1000. Now in the evening, Pete, as you know, I don't usually do show questions, but Ian likes them, so we're going to do one. Had a bit of a row about what it was going to be.
Just a little.
It was, as usual, a very one-sided row. We all agreed to do what I said.
It's funny how true that is.
Anyway, the question, for the show question, and I think it is a good question, should we stop jailing tweeters? Simple as that. Should we stop jailing tweeters? Ironically, yesterday, Lucy Connolly, who got 2 years and 7 months, for an admittedly nasty tweet after the Southport riots, after the Southport murders. 2 years and 7 months. She'd never so much as had a parking ticket before in her life. A mum trying to bring up her kids in Northampton. 2 years and 7 months she got. And actually 12 people, something like 385 people, I think went to jail after the riots in the wake of the Southport horror across the country. 12 of them went to jail for posts on social media. Now, my argument is I don't think any of those 12 should have gone to jail. I'm uncomfortable about the idea of policing speech and what you write and what you post altogether, but I'm a bit of an absolutist. I understand when people say, well, if you're patently calling for violence and race hate, punishment is in order. Okay, I'll go along with that. But prison for hurty words? I don't think so. That's my view. Let me know what you think. And the reason we're talking about this, Pete, we did this story last night on my show, Political Asylum, 7 to 10 p.m, Monday to Friday. Highly recommend it. It's a guy has been jailed for 2 tweets, which are really nasty. It was in the wake of the German market atrocity, the terrorist attack, the driving into the German market this time last year at Christmas. So 2 tweets a year ago about the German market terrorist attack, and he's here in Dorset. He a couple of tweets saying things to Germans should march on the asylum seekers hotel, burn them down, and all that sort of stuff. Not at all nice. No one is condoning that. Two tweets, 12 months ago, December 24, seen, Pete, by 33 people,
yeah.
33 Jews, 33 views, and he's got 18 months.
That's astonishing.
So we're still sending people to jail for hurty words on social media. I think we got to stop.
Yeah, because it's just a cheap substitute for not being able to govern properly. Isn't it funny we can put all this effort into policing tweets, but we can't stop the small boats? It's about choices. It's about what you put political will into, and it's very clear that this government is putting so much effort into policing tweets because they see it as active criticism, and yet again, it's the two-tier society, plain and simple. If you're going to police tweets, you police them fairly. That's not happening. So therefore, we have to start questioning whether whether the principle is right in general. And I'm with you, Kev. I don't like the idea of policing tweets, speech or anything like that. I actually would rather we have none of these laws because I know what you really think. What the problem you have with what people have believed about hate speech laws is, oh, well, if we stop you saying it, you'll stop thinking it. That doesn't work. And what happens is that those people then go into more darker bits of the internet, and that's where real radicalisation happens. Yeah. So realistically, what you're doing with these kind of laws is shifting people into more extreme positions. It doesn't work.
I detest racism. Racism is entirely wrong, don't get me wrong. But I'm not even convinced that racism should be a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, if you form the opinion that racism is right, that you don't like people of colour or you don't like Jews or whatever, that's disgusting. It's revolting. We should discourage people from that. But discourage them by sending them to jail for what they think. Should racism be a crime punishable by prison?
It doesn't work. This is my big argument against these things. Is we've tried this, and yet hate incidents and incidents of racism, anti-Semitism, it's escalated ever since. So there are actual kind of solutions. It's only made the situation worse. So again, it's about education. It's about I actually think the kind of stigma of being called a racist doesn't mean anything anymore. So even if you get thrown in prison for it, if anything, you get a fanfare when you come out. It's not really having the kind of effect that they want it to have. But yet again, instead of admitting that they've gone down the wrong path, the Labour government and the left wing in general just double down on it. So we're only going to get stricter and harder laws rather than actually reforming anything and trying to change society.
And I'll tell you what makes me uncomfortable. The guy's called Luke Yarwood. Just a little guy from Dorset, and he's got 18 months for 2 tweets seen by 33 people, posted a year ago. Now, what makes me more uncomfortable than the very fact of that is that in the end, Mr. Yarwood is going to jail because the establishment, the left-leaning establishment in this country, want to kind of criminalise right-wing opinions, certainly far-right opinions. See, I mean, should far-right opinions be illegal? I mean, you might not like them, but should they be illegal?